This is an ET Now exclusive. Discoms that don't work to reduce their losses will be facing the ire of the centre. And that's been made pretty clear by the Union Power Minister R.K. Singh, who tells my colleague Ruchi Bhatia that finance companies like REC, PFC have been asked to fund only those discoms that are reviewing their progress to cut losses.
Now we have we have put in place a transmission system whereby we can wheel energy anywhere from anywhere to anywhere. We have established generation capacity which is more than the demand, much more than the demand. Our generation capacity today is about 335 lakh megawatts, 335,000 megawatts, 335 gigawatts. Whereas the maximum demand which I see happening is about 165, 166 gigawatt. So there is generation capacity, there is transmission capacity, and we are giving money for strengthening the distribution. Therefore, there is no reason why we cannot guarantee 24/7 power supply.
Absolutely.
Now, this is what I told the energy ministers of all the states in the meeting, and I said that as we had worked out earlier, 1st of April 2019 is the deadline. This is something which had worked out earlier. Absolutely. That this will be the deadline. I said that we propose to stick to the deadline, and we propose to in the amendments which I am bringing to the Electricity Act, we propose to provide that after that, if there is any gratuitous load sharing in any part of the country, then there will be penalties and stiff penalties. So this I am sticking to. We have worked on the amendments to the Act, and those amendments are ready. Now we propose to circulate it to the Ministry of Law for comments, whatever, and to the states. Then one thing, one thing which needs to be done, which I think is at the core of it all, is to strengthen the distribution companies. Now that is something which is uppermost in my mind. The need to ensure that the distribution companies take steps to reduce the losses which they are incurring. Now for that also I have worked out a system, I have worked out a method, I have written to the states, the chief ministers, the energy ministers, that these are the steps which you need to take to reduce the losses. Then apart from that, I have said that okay, so these are the steps which you need to take. We are giving you money. You use that money to reduce the loss. And at the same time, I said that the deadline is the 31st of December 2018. From 1st January, we will provide in the tariff policy that you will not be able to pass on more than 15% of the losses to tariff, because it is not fair that the paying consumer is made to pay for the inefficiencies of the discom.
While you are saying that the paying consumer should not be suffering due to the inefficiencies of discoms, how will you ensure that the discoms follow through the kind of expectations that the government has?
So what will happen is that once I put this in the tariff policy, and I have held a meeting with all the regulators, then this will be implemented. And once it is implemented, then any loss above 15% they will not be able to recover through tariff. So they will have to go to the states to fund them, because nobody else will fund this loss. That will put a pressure on the states to ensure that the discoms reduce their losses. I have also written to the states about this, and I have said that this is what I am going to do, apart of course from telling the ministers when I met there. Then apart from that, I am going to take one more step. I have called a review of the REC. I have called a review meeting of the REC and the PFC, financing bodies in the Ministry of Power, the Power Finance Corporation and the Rural Electrification Corporation. These are the financing agencies, and I have told them that now financing will be available only to those discoms which have losses at a lower level, as per the norm, not more than the norm. And if the losses are more than what they should be, then the concerned discom must demonstrate that they have taken steps and they are taking steps to reduce their losses.